Yo, Bachi 2007 back at you with another one. People wonder why, or a lot of women, and especially WNBA basketball players, wonder why people don't watch the WNBA. Well, we have here one of the lovely and sweet women of the WNBA showing you how she presents herself and represents the league and markets the league to the public. Her name is, I think, Kahleah Copper. Let's just take a listen to and see how she's representing the league, and so we can understand why their viewership is how it is.
What did you? I was saying that the bench didn't give a lot of production today in this game here. What do they got to do to help you all out as what they did in the previous game? What they got to do? What they do last game? That's a real question. You for real? No, what I'm asking is just really trying to get an idea of what they need to do. So what the bench do the last game? They actually played well. So what they do this game? Today they didn't do well this game. Okay, so what they got to do? Score, right? Yep. All right, bet. That's it, right?
Completely legitimate question, but look at the disrespect that the brother gets. For a moment, if you take a moment to like this video up, if you hit the like button real quickly, we'll get right back to the program. Hit the like button and let's get into some commentary about this. Let's walk through this again a little bit.
Right? Yeah. Looks like the bench production, you didn't get a lot of it in this game here. Talk about what they need to do going forward. You said what? The bench in this game here.
You say what? Just off top, how just ignorant and just ratchet is that to even be out here as a professional, presenting yourself in the media, talking to a professional journalist. And this a lot. You ain't on the block, girl. Act like you got some sense, but they don't have any sense. This is what you get from them.
Give you a lot of production. What do you have to do next in the next few games to help you guys most likely get to the next level? What does the bench have to do? Yes. What did you? I was saying that the bench didn't give a lot of production today in this game here. What do they got to do to help you all out as what they did in the previous game? What they got to do? What they do last game? That's a real question. You for real?
Yes, that is a real question. And those type of questions are opportunities. What they're doing is eliciting from you, uh, trying to elicit from you is some analysis from your standpoint on what your team, what your insights are about how your team can approach the next game. So yes, it is a real question, and it was an opportunity for you to show that you have a lick of sense in this planet whatsoever, and that you have any insight about the game that you play. Instead, you jump ignorant and act like a fool. And we get a lot of these clowns in the comments backing this up. The name of this channel, something black made. This is not being black. This is ghetto. And this is how this young lady presents herself. You see the contempt from the jump with what sounds like a black man speaking to her off camera to me. And you see the contempt she has for him. But then women wonder why we don't want to approach and talk to them. And they wonder why we don't want to watch their silly sport. Because people don't want to deal with this, and don't want to absorb and intake this foolishness in women who are like this. Who wants to deal with and hear from contemptuous women? Uh, this other person, she went black mom mode. I feel sad for this simp brother here who put this statement here. I feel sad for some of y'all that this is what your black mom is like. But that explains some things. That explains a lot of things. If this is the way you're raised, it explains a lot of things about a lot of y'all, both black and female, black male and black female. That this is your presentation of womanhood, and this explains why our black women, so many of them, have this kind of demeanor. And you can see more foolishness down here where they're actually trying to justify this absurd nonsense. I've already explained why this comment by this female is crap and that the question is completely legitimate. Now, again, this is what you see with the WNBA, and you can and see why people don't want to follow this sport. Despite on top of the basketball not being great, look at the presentation of the people who play the sport and represent the league. As opposed to other female sports, we have Coco Golf here, a tennis player, great tennis player, just won the U.S. Open, her first major, I believe, definitely a first U.S. Open win. And look at the presentation of her in the golfing world. I mean, in the tennis world. Look how she presents herself. Look at the femininity, which someone can turn in and enjoy the sport, which is a much better sport. Women's golf, women's tennis is a very good sport and enjoyable sport to watch. It's actually probably the one sport where I even prefer the women's game over the men's game. But even going on to other sports like women's golf, we get uh, demure and feminine. We get a presentation that's worthy of looking at versus the WNBA, where we get men looking women, we get rough, we get tatted up and down the arm, thuggy looking, neck tatted. This one even does OnlyFans. This is their version of femininity in the WNBA. Dude looking chicks all tatted up with an attitude like this.
No, what I'm asking, just really trying to get an idea of what they need to do.
So what the bench do the last game?
They actually played well.
So what they do
this aggressive, unnecessary, and just nasty demeanor. And you wonder why nobody wants to watch your game. But this goes and bleeds further over into society because it's not just about the WNBA as a game. This is how so many modern women, and especially modern black women, portray themselves and how they carry themselves, and then are shocked and surprised that men aren't interested in being with them. Let's take a tope here. We had this come out last year with Gilly interviewing Cameron, and listen to what they're talking about with that same kind of attitude we just saw from that sister from Philly. This is it's about to talk about is major in New York, but it's all those industrial cities, especially Philly and Baltimore. She plays in Chicago. That's another St. Louis. These chicks are just off the train, masculine. Detroit. They're so just hard and man acting, not just man acting, thuggy acting, and have so much contempt for men and how they speak to men, and then got the gall to be surprised that dudes don't want them. But let's listen to this.
Yep. What the fuck has New York niggas done to the New York women?
Again, not just New York women, and it's not what men have done to them. That woman that we just saw, that is the black mother raising those women, as the guy in the comments pointed out. To him, that's how black mothers act. Because apparently that's the low-rent type of mother he had, even though that's not a representation of black mothers. That's a representation of hood ghetto mothers that unfortunately some of y'all were raised by and haven't overcome that to see what foolishness it is so that you can do better, which it is up to each one of us once we become adults to overcome whatever we were raised with and to choose to be better, because it is a choice.
For them to talk like that.
Listen,
don't nobody on planet Earth talk to a grown fucking man like a woman from New York.
Listen, man.
They vicious, Lo. You don't understand.
I think we thought at one time, I just told you that a little while ago before I told you about my shorty in Philly. That shit was sexy. Do you know who fucked it up, man? When we was younger, I'm going to say for the 90s.
Before he goes into that piece, that's the problem right there. Brothers think that's sexy. They think that's hot. Oh, she's spicy. Oh, she feisty. Oh, yeah. She gonna be aggressive in the bed. That's gonna be the bomb. Oh, yeah. Nah, y'all want some sucker stuff. Your woman is supposed to be sweet. She can still get wilded out in the bed if she's the right kind of chick. She's supposed to be sweet. And most importantly, she's supposed to be respectful to you. You're supposed to demand respect. And if you as a man do not demand respect, you don't deserve it. And you end up getting what you get. Now, I kind of agree with this point he's going to make about this. It's not just because of this one song he's about to bring up, but that's a piece of the mind state and how it was developed off of this song he's about to talk about. But that song was one representation of cultural artifacts that made that mind state grow amongst folk.
And it might have been late 80s, early 90s. Apache had a song called Gangsta Bitch, man. And
I need a gangsta boogie with my
gangsta bitch.
I need a.
And they was like, "Ooh, shorty got the door knockers on with the bandana and little Timbs and shit." And we was like, "Yeah, that's right. I want one of those." Until you get outside of New York and be like, "I never want one of those ever again." But you know, that's a great question, Gil. I can't even fucking tell you Why? Because they still doing it. They still, yo, suck my dick. What?
Oh, nigga.
What? My nigga, suck my dick.
There you go crazy. You a pussy, son.
Yeah.
You know how I know
Word to
you
my
a pussy?
father.
No, you know how I know you a pussy? Because your father, with two F's too, not father. Because your father's a pussy. And your father's no, that's his grandfather. That's not his father. Like, I know you won't do nothing. Yeah. And then, dog, I used to talk to him online.
And that's the one they go with because they feel protected, that they can talk crazy to dudes and not get hands laid on them, because the society by men has been so constructed to protect you that men won't come after you in most cases until you get the right one.
When I used to go on live all the time, I used to say, why the fuck do y'all talk to niggas like that? Right. And they be like, Gilly, let me tell you, these New York niggas, Gilly, they don't know how to fucking talk, Gilly. You gotta talk to these niggas like a nigga, Gilly, because these New York niggas, Gilly, you just don't fucking know, Gilly.
Yeah, nah. I gotta tell you, I'm not saying that they lying, but the suck my, I can't take it. Yo, fuck you, suck my dick, my nigga. I'll be like, yo.
And they tell you that shit fast.
Yo, I'll be honest with you. I have not dealt with, I won't say New York, a Harlem female in years. I won't do it. I'm not.
Won't even date people from his own neighborhood. I actually walked by years ago when I was in Harlem. I walked by the projects that Cameron was from. They didn't look too tough. They had a nice manicured lawn with the tree out in the front or whatever. But I'm sure it gets real over there at night, whatever. All right, let's check what this brother's talking about.
A qualitative study where they actually asked black men, why do they believe that black women are the least desired group of women, the least likely to be married, and the least likely to be remarried? And the very first answer, the black men said, it's black women's attitudes, the masculinity, the emasculation, the being stubborn, being difficult, being combative. No desire to be interdependent or submissive or cooperative or friendly or sweet. So they're talking about character flaws within black women as a community that they see that is so prevalent that it's generalizable. Oh, and we can see it in everyday life as well.
Yep, and let's play it again. This is why dudes aren't dealing with a lot of you women out here.
So what they got to do? Score, right? Yep. All right, bet. That's it, right? Yep.
It's like the bitch.
Just crazy attitude, crazy disrespect. And again, look at that contempt off the jump. What we just saw with their face. What? You don't talk to somebody like that. And the fact that that's their disposition, no excuse that they give makes it acceptable. I don't care how you were raised. I don't care what happened to you. You choose to be the person you choose to be. And fellas, you have to stop accepting these women who are like this. If you're going to allow women to disrespect you, if you're going to allow them to talk crazy to you, if you're going to accept manly women, which then I also wonder what's wrong with you that you want a manly woman, kind of says something might be a little bit funny about you. This is just what you're going to continue to get. So we got to leave these women on the curb where they belong, because that's trash. Again, that's not being black. That's being trash. Like me up. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell to make sure that you get the alerts to come back for more. Yobachi 2007. I'm out.